Hello Nintendo Dads community, this is Tim Off, the Nintendo Dads Discord community manager, coming at you with a couple of games that I've actually been reviewing and playing. One is a review copy of Silence from Daedalic. Thank you Daedalic for a copy of that. And the second one is my own personal purchase of my friend's Pedro, both for the Nintendo Switch. And as you can see behind me, I'm going for a walk. So I figured, what better place to do an intro than here while I'm on a walk and out of breath. Let's get into it. Silence was released on April 10th, 2019. And I've had this review copy for quite some time, or since that time. And I've only been able to play bits and pieces here and there since that time, either breaks at work or at lunchtime or when I've gone to bed at home. But it's a good story-driven game to do that, I think, with, because it's an adventure or a point-and-click adventure game where you can go through these set environments and interact with it and solve puzzles with it. Now you can play multiple characters within the game, and your main characters are Noah and Renee, and they're caught in this shelter, this bomb shelter, and from the start of the story it seems like they're caught in there because it's from this perspective of the brother Noah, who is telling the story to keep his sister calm. As you go through the story, you learn more and more, and I've ended up finishing this game, and the story kept me involved long enough to get through the story, or it kept me intrigued enough to want to keep going in the story and see it to its end. Now, from what I can tell, I only played through this once, but from what it looks like there's choices. So like a telltale game, you get to pick certain dialogue to have certain things happen, and then it seems like your choices will also affect which characters you end up using to do certain puzzles and where it moves you along in the story. Overall, it seems like there are multiple ways you could get through the story, and at the end there were certainly two choices I had in this where I was able to pick two different endings, and I was able to play those two different endings, thankfully. So it was very interesting to see, and also even those two endings you could kind of take where you wanted to in your own way, just like a book. So with that, I would recommend this for a good story to follow along, especially if you like point and click games. It looks beautiful, and to a certain extent you could play this in front of your kids, play together, have your kids do certain choices with you. Ultimately, there are a few swear words in there that I heard, so if you have any issues with that, you have to keep that in mind. It is rated T for teen, and so however you use that type of information obviously is up to you as a parent or as a gamer yourself. So keep that in mind. And right now the game is going for, looks like $40 right now. So also keep that in mind, and also look out for sales if you prefer. Now, going on to another game that I feel is good for quick plays, maybe not a go to bed type of game where you go and lay down and go play this, is My Friend Pedro. Now, as I stated before in a recent Nintendo Dads episode, and also what some of you may have heard in other reviews, is that this game is similar to a lot of our favorite action movies. Three of them that come to mind for me are John Wick, Deadpool, and The Matrix. Now for me, a little bit more specifically, The Matrix, I think a good example of this game is the first movie in the lobby of the building towards the end of the movie, where Neo and Trinity are going in to rescue Morpheus. That whole scene there in the lobby is essentially this game to me. And then there's other scenes that, as you get through the game, I think will relate to a lot of those other movies. Overall, the gameplay is intense, along with the button combinations that you use to play this game. There's a lot of combinations you can use to get through a stage and avoid getting hit by bullets as best as you can, to eliminate as many bosses and create as many combos as you can. Well, not bosses, but henchmen, if you will, to get the best points. The more points you get, the better score you'll get at the end. Higher score, better grade, and of course the best grade you get is, of course, gives you bragging rights. Now, unlike some of the trailers you may have seen or some of the gameplay you might have seen before for this game, not every sequence is going to be perfect. So that's something you have to go into and keep in mind. Now, if your ultimate goal is to go through here and try to not get hit at all and go through and make all of these perfect scenes, more power to you. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to get through it as quickly as possible, because the quicker you get through, you get more points, and also the more combos you make, you get more points and a better grade. So that was my ultimate goal. But for me, it was a lot of fun to play this game, and I just wanted to get through it, see what I could do to get better. I've done each level several times just to learn from it and get better at it. Again, but that's how I work, and that's how much I had fun with it. Now, this game came out on June 20th. I got this myself because I was very interested in it, and it's from Devolver Digital. Again, another game in my library that I like, and even from the other Nintendo dads, we all are liking a lot of their games. Now, although I haven't finished my friend Pedro yet, I've been having a lot of fun with this, especially with my sentient banana. And like I said in the Nintendo Dad's episode, it kind of reminds me of a different kind of Navi. So, but it's been a lot of fun playing this game, and I highly recommend it, especially if you like high action, and just kind of like high score, best grade type of challenges. I highly recommend it and checking that out. And with that, although these are two different games and genres altogether, the overall aspect I wanted to give on it was that I've been able to play these games, 10-20 minutes at a time, and able to get through them. And now my friend Pedro is kind of like moving into that space where Silence was, where I play that a little bit more. Thank you for listening, and check you later.